What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday, and welcome out to episode 3 of A Look Behind the Curtain with Chris, the YouTube show designed to pull real people from the world and share real stories that are inspiring around success, overcoming obstacles, resiliency, and just being a badass in life. And today's guest, I cannot wait to share with you guys. We'll dive into a little bit of his credentials here in just a minute. But I had the amazing opportunity to actually meet this gentleman in person, sit down, chat with him last month at one of the live events that we were doing. And I cannot wait to share this gentleman with you guys. A lot of you guys, if you're a veteran, you already know who this gentleman is. He needs no introduction. He's been a huge part of the online veteran community and offline veteran community for quite a long time now. And we are going to be diving into all of those things here tonight. However, before we do, we got to talk about our show sponsor. And episode 3 is actually brought to you by the OVF. We are currently doing a OVF online workshop. It's 100% free to join. It is tomorrow night. We are only having 100 seats, and we're only doing it one time. And so if you're looking to create more in your life, if you've been interested at all in how to leverage the internet to make money, we're going to be sharing with you tomorrow night the top 3 ways to start making money in 2022, and actually the top 3 ways to start making over $10,000 a month in 2022. So we can't wait to share those things with you guys. If you're at all interested, the link will be down in the description. Just click it, go ahead and join. And without further ado, guys, I have a really special guest here tonight. The gentleman that I want to bring out is the owner and operator of Disgruntled Vets. You guys may know variations of the organization. There's many different groups online and offline. But this gentleman just recently got out of the military here back in September. And so he's a recent veteran, but that has not stopped him of years and years and years of social media experience out there, helping veterans, out there creating communities of support for the veterans before he even was one. And that's really amazing to me. And I can't wait to share that with you guys. He's had his company featured on Discovery Channel. It's been in the news. They've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for nonprofits inside the veteran industry, inside of our veteran community. And so without further ado, guys, please just help me bring a warm welcome and to bring out Mr. Ryan Hemhauser, a.k.a. Chapi, the owner of Disgruntled Vets, to the call here tonight, guys. What's up, brother?
How's it going? I'm super excited to be on this show. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you're in the comments, I know we got quite a few people on, so definitely drop some engagement. Let us know you're here. And I actually was reading a comment from one of your posts inside of your group earlier, and I noticed that one of your members mentioned that he was going to be on here, kind of giving you some hell in the comments. So I welcome it. I welcome our brand of humor. How veterans operate a little bit different, a little bit darker of the spectrum, if you will. And so I welcome it, guys. I welcome the engagement. I welcome the humor. This is going to be heavily veteran-centric tonight, being that both of us are veterans and our businesses help veterans. That's going to be the core of our conversation. So share this with a veteran in need. Share this with anybody you know. And I'm sure before this call is over, you'll have plenty of ways to have anybody you need connect with Ryan who needs help. So before we dive into what you're doing now, we always need to figure out, where did you start? And so give us a 5 to 10 minute backstory, Ryan. Who are you? Where do you come from? Do you come from a military family? Were you always destined to be in the military? Give us the rundown.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to be in the military. Both my parents were not. But I was, at 6 years old, I was digging trenches in my backyard. And my parents just let me do it. And they always supported me to join the military. Originally, I was supposed to go to the Naval Academy when I was real young. But when I was in my teenage years, I actually lost both my parents when I was 12 and then 5 days before my 16th birthday. Went through a dark path, but eventually went to college, was going to become a chaplain, ran out of money, so I joined the Army. I actually joined the National Guard to help pay for college. And then 2013, my unit came up for deployment, and we deployed to Afghanistan, RC East area, if anyone's familiar with that. And when we were there, me and my buddies, we were really disgruntled. It was high political time, posting on our personal Facebook pages. People just weren't understanding what we were going through. So we made this page. And funny thing is, when we were coming up with names, I was like, I think we should name it Dysfunctional Veterans. And then my buddy looks at me and he's like, yeah, dude, that's already a page. I was like, all right, let's go with Disgruntled Veterans. And it was just a place for us to vent and post memes. And we didn't really think a lot of it. And when we got home from Afghanistan, the other buddies that helped me originally start it kind of faded away. And I just kept going at it. And we went from like 0 followers to like 5,000. And then the great part is I met my wife. When I met my wife, she was like all graphics and actually understood branding. And she's the one that came up with the logo, because I was like, I want something to represent disgruntled and it can be drawn in a bathroom. And she was like, I got you. Because originally we had like I think like a stick figure or a gingerbread man. That was our logo. And then since then, it's after the National Guard, I went in active duty, got married to my wife, who without her, disgruntled would not be around. And I was a chaplain assistant. I was trying to become a chaplain. So disgruntled grew, and my heart went with it. So, I remember 2:00 in the morning when I was stupid and had my cell phone number still on the Facebook page. People were calling me, and my wife was like, what's going on? She didn't understand the veteran community at that time. And it just kept on growing and growing. And disgruntled has just become part of my life at this point. And just recently I got out of active duty in September, and that has been completely life-changing. I thought I was going to be okay. And there were just small things that changed my life. Like, I no longer had to wake up at 6:00 anymore, didn't have to go to PT. And so my life, just the small things, just like, what do I wear every day? Yeah. But I'm learning. I got a desk. I feel like I'm transitioning well. So, yeah, I would say between like losing my parents and joining the military, just that kind of compassion. And then without my wife being there, Al, she kind of gave everything direction and made things a little bit more professional. But those three things have really defined my life and helped, give Disgruntled Vets a focus and direction.
It's awesome to hear that too. Like, I've got the opportunity to meet your amazing wife and got to see you guys together and how that works as an amazing team. So it's so awesome to hear you give her the credit and shout her out, which anybody who knows you would do something like that. So really cool to hear. And we all know that she's a real support system for you and veterans, even though she never served herself. So it's really cool to have her on the backbone, or the backbone of your team as well. How many years did you serve total?
Currently, I just hit 12 because I'm in the reserves right now. Okay. I'm going for that retirement.
Yeah.
I'm just too close.
Yeah.
So 6 years guard, 5 years active, and then it'll be another 9 reserves. And you know what? I'm stupid. Every time I had the chance to go Air Force, I just kept on picking Army. And then I complain. I'm like, why didn't I go Air Force? 3 chances.
Oh, man, I can't even tell you how many times I've had a conversation like that with my Army buddies too. It's like, we get to like have a bit more of an ego because we chose the Army, but at the end of the day, we could have been like basically living like college students the whole time. So anyway, we won't go there, but what you're doing for the veteran community is astounding. You, your wife, your team, everybody over there at Disgruntled. And so share with the viewers a little bit, maybe 1 or 2, not too many, obviously we'll be here all night, of, the stories that have impacted you the most being a part of an organization like that. Maybe one or two of the people or situations that you guys have come across that have reminded you that you're on the right path and that what you're doing is great work.
Actually, just recently, I would say right before Vet Fest, so like June, July timeframe, we had a veteran in Colorado Springs reach out and really just get involved. And his backstory was a month or two beforehand, he tried to commit suicide. He was very secluse, didn't do a lot, just kind of focused on him and his family. Now, fast forward a few months, he started coming out to a lot of disgruntled events, really got involved. And now this guy, he's involved with the Enlisted Association. He was involved with the VFW. He really broke out of his, shell and really became part of the veteran community. A couple months ago, he was suicidal, and now he's running all these different veteran events for veterans. And it's mind-blowing seeing his transition. And I think that's what we all need, is just like focus. If you give someone focus, they can overcome anything. And then that focus can then translate into a million different opportunities. And then with Disgruntled, we've done some crazy things, like everything from people needing help moving or getting stuck on the side of the road, and we put it out on Disgruntled. We've gotten these people, just by putting it out on social media, we've gotten these people help. And it's amazing what the community can do when you give them, task, mission, and expectations. Once you give them that, they go out and execute. I'm basically just the guy behind the keyboard, and all these people are doing all these amazing things just because we throw it out on social media. It's beautiful to see what we do. On the internal Disgruntled, I've actually just taken a step back from day-to-day operations, where I'm now focused in on like the bigger picture operations, and the conversations we have within our admin team of how do we give that direction? How do we cause less of a toxic area? How do we prevent things from happening? And these larger pictures of how do we, I don't want to say manipulate, but give direction to the veteran community, create more of a positive environment. Seeing these kind of conversations with my admin team is just, it's amazing of what we can kind of come up with to instead of being a reacting to situations, of trying to become proactive without the veteran community really knowing we're being proactive.
That's awesome. And in such a reactive society, it's, you very unique to be proactive. So it's awesome to hear that you're taking that next level and setting up those, necessary things to be proactive. That's really cool, especially in today's world. Because as you know, and I'm going to ask you here just in a minute, Facebook, social media is the powers that be. They have their own agendas. Sometimes those narratives and agendas don't align with our own. When that happens, conflict. And so you recently here in, the last year, had one of your biggest assets taken right from underneath you overnight, not from your own actions or anything else that you or your team did, but basically just because we have very dark humor, and some of the things that some of the veterans had posted inside of the group were taken to be offensive or not politically correct or whatever you might want to call it. And so you lost an amazing asset. Talk to us a little bit about that experience and then your bounce back.
Yeah, so we lost our one group, Disgruntled Underground. That's been one of our staples. It was at like, I want to say like 41 or 42,000 members. And we lost it overnight. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I get a notification, it's gone, and we can't do anything about it. And definitely went into a reaction plan of like, all right, we got to set up we had a group already set up. All we had to do was add some moderators, add some rules, and we were good to go to push it. So we had foresight that this was going to happen. So it was a very quick transition. Once we got everything in place, we put it out on social media. And I think within 3 days, we jumped from 0 to 39,000 or 38,000. So we bounced back like that. And that's because we had plans in place. We had a plan B, and we just executed. The team that we had, it was flawless. But it was extremely humbling to see going from 0 to 39,000 in 3 days. We actually broke Facebook. Facebook didn't know how to deal with a group growing that big. And now we've learned some new things. So we have a backup page already set with a different name, and we're already accepting members into it. We just don't post in there. So it's truly our rally point once, because we know it's going to happen. So we always have a plan B. It's just like our main page. Our main page is at 600,000 followers, and we have a plan B. I think it's at like 35 or 40,000. And then we've also spread across now throughout multiple social media networks, everything from like MeWe, Discord, Instagram, you name it, we're on it. And we really focus on, we no longer want to be just Facebook. We want to be able to rely on ourselves. The ultimate goal would be to set up like an app or something, but that's just a lot of money.
Yeah. And I'm glad that we were able to touch on that, because it's something, not only is it happening to just Facebook groups across the board, but something that we have particularly noticed just being veteran-based Facebook groups is that everything is being pulled through a fine-tooth comb, and a lot of our normal reach that we would have to be able to get out there and help people is being throttled a lot. Even live video, we used to get hundreds and hundreds of people to see them. Now it'll say like 93 people seen in 24 hours. It's crazy what's happening right now. So it's really awesome to hear that you and your team are also working to diversify, to make sure that you have longevity, that your company's not going anywhere, that you're always going to have that support. Because you went from a meme group for basically a moral support for you and your buddies to a passion project. Now it's one of the largest support communities that I know for a fact. If it ever went away, there'd be a lot of veterans hurting, a lot of veterans looking around, wondering where to go next. And so it's really cool that you guys are doing all these amazing proactive things to make sure that there's always a place for the veterans in need. Very cool. One other thing I want to touch on with you, though, is that, you've been in the internet world a while, and I've had a chance to talk to you behind the camera several times, and I've talked to a lot of marketers in the last 5 years of my life, and you actually have a really great knowledge when it comes to organic marketing and branding, and I'm sure you're going to give a lot of credit to that to your wife helping you, but you really got a good mind for this. And so how long did it take you from the time you got out of the military to actually have a full-time social media job?
So, funny thing, I was like 3 days away from getting out of the Army, and that's when we lost the group. And when it bounced up to 39,000, I got on my personal Facebook. I was just joking around because they're like, "What are you going to do?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'll start I guess I'll collect on unemployment for a little bit and find a job later." And I got onto my personal Facebook page, and I was like, I just grew a Facebook page from 0 to 39,000 in 3 days. Who wants to hire me as a social media marketer? And I got a job. So literally I went from getting out on the 27th to starting a job the 28th. And that job, I've grown their Facebook page from like 1,000 to, I think we're at like 4,000 already on that Facebook page. So I got lucky, but I also put in a lot of work and resourced a lot and talk to as many people as possible. So when I got out of the Army, people knew who I was, knew what I could do. And, I have a boss that believes in me. Because I've only ever done this for Disgruntled, and I've had some other projects that I don't really promote for running other businesses, social media. So I was excited. And now it's funny because I am getting job after job after job. Like, so many people want to hire me right now. I'm like, what are you going to pay me?
That's it. Let's talk numbers. That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. And that's something I definitely wanted to touch on here tonight, because I know myself, my business partner, Liam, and many, many names I see on the call here tonight, Donald, many others, Brad, we've all had this conversation in the past where it's like, man, if I had just started thinking about entrepreneurship, investing, building something more for myself post-military while I was still in the military, how different, how much faster could I have gotten to where I wanted to be? And we could all live in the what ifs, and I don't ever recommend anybody stay there too long, but I do recommend you visit there every now and again, because it'll give you that extra fire to launch you forward. Because here's the thing, I'm sure you guys have heard this all before, but there's that age-old saying that's like, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, but the second best time is today. Same thing goes for that, right? It's like, yeah, Ryan may have had the advantage where he, was building a group well before he ever got out and got a lot of experience inside of the world of marketing, which then got him a job when he got out. But a lot of us, we don't do that. And so I just want to, hopefully with Ryan's story and you listening to this call here tonight, kind of click that light bulb for you. If you're still active duty, if you're still struggling, like on your way to get out and struggling to figure out for yourself what that's going to look like, my advice would be get really clear on what it is you'd like to do, and then start focusing really hard on how you can start achieving that well before you ever get out. Don't wait.
And what I notice about a lot of people, especially when they get into like social media or things like that, they really hyper focus on like having the best content or having the best camera, the best microphone, and the reality is no one cares. It's all about consistency. You put content out there and it doesn't matter how bad it is, eventually you'll get better, but you'll start growing and growing and growing. You don't have to have everything thought out. You just got to go action. I see so many entrepreneurs, I see so many veterans trying to get into like TikTok or Twitch or whatever, and they wait, they plan. But while they're doing all that, they're not doing any action. You just got to get out there and do it and learn from it and get better, and then it will come. I didn't get 600,000 followers in a day. It took me 7 years. If you look back, first posts, they were garbage. My first live videos was me in my car with my cell phone. I didn't have the nice microphones, the nice cameras. I still, my opinion, I don't have the best content, but like I just keep putting it out there and it just keeps growing. You just got to do.
Perfectly said, brother. That's it. Go back and watch, some of the greats, people we would consider the greatest marketers of our generation: Frank Kern, Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Billy Jean, like some of the top, like you talk about, no one can touch these guys, top 5% of the world marketers. And you look at where they started, they all started from crap. They all started being bad. They all started with a bad message, stumbling over themselves, not with bad cameras and bad lighting and bad mics. It all starts somewhere. And so I think that's, a great point that a lot of people need to hear, because a lot of people stop themselves from greatness. And that's something that every single person listening to this is capable of. And so we got, about 5 more minutes left on the call. I want to try to get in 2 more questions if we can. So if a veteran was in need, what could they go to Disgruntled for help with?
So we have 2 different avenues. You know, you can either go to our main page where you can message us, or our groups where you can put it out to the public. Either one that you go through, a admin will see it, and that will trigger a response. So if you're coming to us with, you know, you're suicidal, you're homeless, you name it. Basically, we are the CLS of the veteran community. So that means we might not be the subject matter experts. You know, we are not the therapists. We are not the people that are going to get you the money, but we know how to get you there. So we will triage you, figure out what the actual problems are, and then get you to the subject matter expert that it is. So when it comes to suicide, we work with a crisis team. We got your six. We'll get you to them. If you're, you know, if it's financial problems, we work with different organizations, but one of them being 22 Until None, where they can help you out financially. But we are that medic. We are the guy that figures out what's wrong with you and then gets you to the person that you need to go to. If we can help you, you know, without getting other resources involved, we will. But we usually try and lean on the subject matter experts.
Perfect. Awesome. And so if you were to give your 18-year-old self one bit of advice that would allow you to get to your dream life faster, what would you say to yourself?
Grow up looking better, because I look like I'm 18. No. I would say learn more. So I feel like I'm a jack of all trades. I have to be good at video editing. I have to be good at picture editing. You know, just start learning more earlier. So just pick up on everything, because you don't know how that's gonna come to light. You know, I remember back in the day when I was a teenager, I was really interested in shooting videos, and so I got all into editing videos. I would just say dive deeper into that and let that passion grow, because you don't know where it's going to lead to. And I wish I was better at more things.
Got it. I love that. Self-education is the key to a life well lived, I believe. Yeah. And so getting there faster. I love that. So we got about 2 minutes left. If someone wanted to get a hold of you, reach out to you, find you on social media, have a conversation with you, how could an audience member best reach out to you or one of your team members?
Yeah, so if you want to talk to Disgruntled Vets, going to our Facebook page, our Instagram, just go to the messages and just start talking. There's a good chance I'll respond, or one of my admin will respond. Now, if you're looking for social media marketing, we have another Facebook page and Instagram and all that kind of stuff called Disgruntled Media. That's for business side of things, if you're looking for marketing on top of that. And yeah, those are probably the two quickest ways that you'll get a hold of me. My email is usually blasted with so much, but at least if you message me on social media, someone will see it and remind me to talk to you.
Awesome. And just real quick, because we didn't really get a chance to touch on it too much, someone reaches out to you for the business side of things, for Disgruntled Media. What do they need to have anything pre-existing? Do they already have to have a product and a business? What kind of help do you provide there?
One of the biggest things is just having a realistic marketing budget. A lot of small veteran companies want us to come in and run their social media, and like, you need to have a realistic marketing budget, because for us to create everything, you know, $500 is our low end per month. You know, and that's creating so many assets for you. So the more you want, it's gonna cost you, because I guarantee you, I do, you know, Disgruntled Media, we do things a lot differently, but we have proven results. And that $500 is going to go a lot further than going to some other person that doesn't know all the tricks of the trade. There's a lot of social media marketers out there, and all they know how to do is create, sorry for my language, but shitty graphics and post them somewhere where there's a lot more than that. So we are truly the experts at organic growth.
100%, brother. I just want to say one more time, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here, to share your wisdom, to be on the show. It's been an honor to get to chat with you again. Can't wait to do it again in the future. And so just thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And for you, the viewer, thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. If you found value inside of our conversation here tonight, if you found value, wisdom from what Ryan has shared with us, drop in the comments. What was your biggest takeaway from tonight? So here's a little trick, a little something I'm going to let you guys know in the audience. I really do appreciate all of your engagement here while we're live, but because I'm using StreamYard, the minute we close this out, all of that goes away. And so when the replay loads back up, it loads up fresh. So do me a huge favor, do future viewers a huge favor, your fellow veterans inside the community a huge favor, and drop your biggest takeaway on the replay of the video. That way, future viewers can see it as well and also gain the value from what you took away from it. If you guys did receive value here again tonight, that would be the biggest thing you could do for us as a huge favor for us putting the show on. Again, I wanted to grab a seat, one of the 100 seats for tomorrow for the OVF live workshop. We still have a few available. It's going to be one and done, so make sure you jump in if that's something you're interested in. Other than that, guys, have a fantastic rest of your night. And that's the end of episode 3 of A Look Behind the Curtain with Chris. What a fantastic evening, guys. Peace.